That's what the pussy cost me. And when the nigga started hating, that's when the nigga lost me. Fantastical, that's what the hoes call me. Why y'all trip?
MAZUMA TV back with another video. Alright guys, shout out to all the subscribers and everybody that's watching. If y'all guys see the title, this is going to be my fight prediction on Daniel Jacobs versus Cuba Arias. You know what I'm saying? Luis Cuba Arias. A lot of people aren't really talking about this fight because the overwhelming situations that's going on with the heavyweight division right now. Shit definitely boiling over on that side, man, with Deontay Wilder, Joseph Parker, Anthony Joshua. And I gotta admit, man, I'm slacking on the heavyweights right now. I'm gonna definitely get to that. But I want to talk about the middleweights first. You know what I'm saying? So looking at this fight, man, it's a solid fight for both guys. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely a step up in opposition for Cuba Arias. You could say the opposite about Daniel Jacobs because he just came off of a controversial defeat over Triple G. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I thought Daniel Jacobs won, but I could see why people would have Triple G winning. You know what I'm saying? It was that close of a fight, and Triple G is known as the best middleweight in the division, clearly because of his belts. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely a step up for Cuba. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because he hasn't really fought top quality opposition at middleweight. Me personally, I think it's too soon of a step up for Cuba. We already know what happened to Erickson Lubin, and I think this is an extremely similar situation. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, like I said, aren't really bringing this up. I don't know why. I don't think Cuba has proved himself at all. He's not on a Peter Quillen type level. You know what I'm saying? When Peter Quillen fought Daniel Jacobs, that fight was definitely reasonable, and Peter Quillen was ready for the fight despite getting stopped in the first round. He had built himself up enough to prove, him being a former titleist, he's definitely proved worthy of a Daniel Jacobs fight, and Daniel Jacobs did the same. You know what I'm saying? So they fought for the King of Brooklyn and shit, and that was a reasonable fight. It made sense. Y'all could argue that this makes sense as well on Daniel Jacobs' side, but in my opinion, on Cuba's side, I don't think this fight makes sense at all. But maybe he's got something that I don't see. Maybe he has a skill set that I haven't seen in the videos I've watched of him. Maybe he got Daniel Jacobs' card. Man, prove me wrong. I like a good underdog story. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, man, I don't think Cuba's going to beat Daniel Jacobs. And I'm going to tell you guys why. I think he's a bit inexperienced, like I've just said like 3 times. I think he's too inexperienced. He has not fought opposition that will have him ready for a Daniel Jacobs. Sparring, all that shit don't matter, man, because at the end of the day, y'all fighting with 16-ounce, whatever the fuck size gloves. And it's not them size gloves that you fighting with when it's fight time. You know what I'm saying? And it don't matter who you spar, because I know guys who are like fucking 2-15 that spar world-class fighters like Andre Ward. So just because a fucking 2-15 guy spars Andre Ward don't mean that he ready to fight Sergey Kovalev. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't mean nothing. So with that being said, man, and the thing is, like, I will understand if Cuba fought low-level opposition, but fought guys similar in style compared to Daniel Jacobs. But there's not too many fighters out here that pose a similar style to Daniel Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? He's a real athletic boxer puncher. You know what I'm saying? That's just personally how I describe Daniel Jacobs' style. Real explosive too, man. This guy, I think he has it all, man. He's a real slick fighter. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's pretty much what I'm thinking so far. You know what I'm saying? And besides the inexperience, man, I don't think Cuba is gonna be able to bring out the tools necessary to defeat a Daniel Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Jacobs is poised now, extremely. He's not green anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's been through it. You know what I'm saying? This is just another day for him, in my personal opinion. I don't know how he's feeling mentally, but to me, this is another day in the office for Daniel Jacobs. You know what I'm saying? And I think he's posed. I think he's been in front of bigger threats than Cuba Arias. I think we could all agree that Peter Quillen somebody who's at 168 now, I believe, is a bigger threat than Cuba. I think that Gennady Golovkin is a bigger threat than Cuba. So, like I said, I believe this is a step down in opposition for Daniel Jacobs. And with that being said, man, I got this being a 4th to 5th round TKO in favor of Daniel Jacobs. I think he's going to come out there real relaxed, real confident, and I think that he's just going to take his time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's just going to pounce on Cuba how he did Peter Quillen, but I would not be surprised if he did so. But I think he's going to come out and try to box and make Cuba work for everything that he needs to work for, just like he said at the press conference. He said you have to work for everything you get. So he definitely has the intent to box. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's going to outbox Cuba and then stop him. I think he's going to hit him with some shit, and I don't know if Cuba's going to be able to take it. He's not experienced enough, man. That's just personally what I think. I know 78 Sports is supporting Cuba because he's from Milwaukee, but I got Daniel Jacobs winning 5th round KO, TKO. Let me know y'all predictions down low. Do y'all think an upset will happen? Do y'all think that the underdog will remain victorious? Or do y'all have a separate prediction? Let me know all y'all thoughts and opinions in the comments. This is MAZUMA TV. I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch my video, and I'm out.